This is Leimomi Keliikuli, Intuitive Soul. I'm a coach here, and I wanted to make a video for you to share about my little insights about manifestations and how that all works, especially when you're trying to create a specific outcome or to be creating 10 times more growth. So if you're just listening in, to say hello, just so I know that you're listening. And I wanted to share more about, why even though you are manifesting maybe amazing stuff but you don't consistently create that 10 times more growth to monetizing your gifts, and the secret to actually how you can actually manifest very quickly. So let me just introduce myself. And I am an intuitive soul. I'm a coach, and I basically help my clients to up-level with ease in an epic time by aligning to their soul's blueprint, so that they can actually take aligned action, towards manifesting all the different things that they want to create in their life. And I can clear any of those soul level blocks that might be restricting them from actually showing up completely, being visible, and to doing exactly what they're meant to do and their purpose in the world. So today's topic, I wanted to talk a bit about manifestations, because there's something that I think we don't really share about, and also that, especially if you have gone through many manifestation programs, or you have experienced many different people, it can become very diluted very easily if you are not in alignment to your own unique way that you manifest. So that's the first thing actually you need to know, is that manifestation and our soul are deeply connected with each other. So if you are aligned more and more to the energy of what your soul is, then the more you align to your soul's desires, right? And then that is what actually creates the manifestations. So it's directly correlated with each other of how aligned you are to your soul and how aligned you are to be able to manifest in this unique way of receiving it in a third dimensional way. Because we've been taught manifestation is some magical thing, but actually it is a conscious creation thing. We're just not conscious of it. We're actually very unconscious about this. So there's parts of us that actually blocks the manifestation, and the reason is a lot from the mindset, of course, and working on that deeper mindset blocks, and meaning the reasoning that you give yourself as to why you can't have what you want to create, what you want to manifest. And it's so important to see where you are blocking yourself and you're not allowing yourself to step into this success mindset. So when it comes to growing 10 times growth, in a very short period of time, so there's something much more deeper about why people grow faster than other people. And it's deeply related to their ability to be very focused on what they actually want to create, which again comes back to soul alignment of what the soul truly desires. So some souls, they are very clear on the specifics. They know the specific outcome, the specific money that they want to make. They even make a vision board and things like that to make it to come into fruition. But that doesn't always mean that might work for you, because you might be the total opposite of that, which is you don't really need to know the exact outcome. You just got to enjoy yourself and be in this unique process of getting to that point where you are aligning this way. So I have found that people who actually manifest very easily, and it has a lot to do with them being very clear about what their soul is and what their soul desires. So if you are actually manifesting, but you're not manifesting consistently, it's because you are not really in alignment with your soul. You may be getting in alignment with parts of what your soul is, but you have all these missing pieces, that doesn't allow you to completely show up as yourself. So we hear this all the time, that we need to be ourselves. It's so true, and is directly related to manifestation. The further you are like aligned to who you are at soul level, the more 10 times more abundance or manifestations come into fruition. So and actually your manifestation that you're experiencing, and this includes receiving, this infinite receiving from who knows where it comes from, right? It's the same principle. It's manifestation. It's receiving and giving, the give and take, right? But every soul has their particular blueprints, their unique way that it likes to show up in the world, and its unique energetic qualities. So the further you get in alignment to your unique qualities of the energies of your soul, the faster that the manifestations will come to you. And this is why I created the soul aligned manifestation method, was because I found that when you align to very particular qualities in what I call your soul's blueprints, and you have this, including your manifesting blueprints, you can manifest whatever you want every 2 to 4 days. Like, it absolutely comes true, because you're aligning to the parts of who you are at soul level, which is the way that the source made you, that God made you in a certain quality, right? Energetic quality. So the further you align to that, the faster the growth of your manifestations and your creation happens. It's directly correlated. Manifestations and soul alignment, and success mindset, and taking aligned action. All of this is all correlated. So the key is actually, the fastest way to actually manifest is getting in alignment to you at soul level. So, for example, if your soul is like my soul's energy is all about love, the further and further I get in alignment with the energy of what love means to me, the more manifestations actually come true. And when I'm talking about manifestation, I'm talking about conscious creation. Usually we think, well, just because we can win the lottery, even if it's $5 or $20 or something, that's still kind of expecting free manifestation, right? Which, true, yeah, there's a possibility that you receive that $1 million by winning the lottery, right? And taking all of these actions towards being able to receive and stuff like that. But actually, it disempowers you over time, because you are receiving, but you're receiving without this conscious creation and this dance with your creation and source. And so you have to understand that manifesting things for free is not really the best thing. It actually disempowers you over time. You actually need to consciously create specific things in order to grow spiritually, mentally, physically, 10 times growth. So if you're not consistently like aligning to what your soul is, and just like taking action because somebody else told you, or you followed somebody else's method, right, their strategy, or you did get in alignment and then you made that $10,000, but then how are you going to make the $10,000 again, right? Because you don't remember how you did it. Why? Because you didn't have consciousness about it. So in order to actually manifest amazing things is consciousness, that you created it, that moment, and that is the best manifestation, and that's empowerment. So for example, like if you decide that you want to buy a car, you know probably what car you want to get and maybe how much it might cost. And so by knowing what that would look like energetically, the end results, whether you're in your process or your outcome type of person, as long as you kind of have a conscious, tangible way of expressing that you're going to receive this manifestation, it doesn't come into fruition until you actually bring it in and hone into exactly what you want. So the key is, let's say I had the notion, yes, I want to get the car. But what does a car really mean to you? So, for me, getting a car would mean, yeah, I could, go on longer trips, and, of course, I would choose a nicer car that's really family oriented, for my family, that has nice, feeling of being inside of the car. And so, we think like we have to, do the law of attraction, right? We're supposed to like imagine the car and only do it all in our head. It never works if you don't actually take such aligned action towards it. So the better way of actually receiving something like that is actually doing things that will get you the car faster, right? But you have to remember that your soul is very unique. You cannot copy somebody else's manifesting blueprints, and you cannot copy somebody else's soul. So all this information that you're learning out there, about manifestation or being able to consistently create that thing, that will not come true unless you're conscious of it in your ability to be aligned to your soul at the same time. Your soul and your ego, they need to work together. And when they work together, there's a very moment where that true magic happens. To me, manifestation is magic, but the best magic is when you're consciously aware that is you're creating it and it became into fruition. Not free manifestation. It never really fulfills the soul. The further your soul is happier that you manifested, the easier it is to create it again, right? It really doesn't matter what kind of object it is, what it's money or stuff like that. What matters is where your heart is. Is your heart truly wanting this new experience? Maybe it's going on vacation, or buying that boat or buying that plane, but you can't create 10 times growth in your experience and monetizing your gifts without your blueprints in a way, because your blueprints of your soul and taking action towards each part of it will bring that into fruition much faster than you just visualizing, you not really taking that aligned action towards what your soul's qualities are. It will cause a lot of confusion in the manifestation. And that's actually one of the biggest sabotage, is that it's not about being specific. It's really about being clear about what from wholeheartedly your soul really wants. So that's what we actually need to master. Master ability to be honed in to the soul desire that it creates directly from the heart, and then you take aligned action towards it, and aligned action and aligned action. And the further you take aligned action towards your soul's blueprints, the energetic qualities of your soul, the vibrational frequencies of what you want to create, on top of that clarity of exactly what wants to come into fruition, you won't make more than 20K at most. You really need to bring in and hone into that intention directly from the heart chakra. So that's the most important thing. The key thing, the secret to manifestation, is you need your manifesting blueprints, your unique soul's energetic qualities, so you're not sabotaging it. Because what happens is you might be doing one part of what your soul is designed, but then you take another action that is not your soul, what your soul is designed, and you're going back and forth between who you are and what you're not, right? So the faster way is aligned to your unique energies of your soul, which is your blueprints. And this is what I do, is I read in the Akashic records what your manifesting blueprints, what the soul's energetic quality is, so that you can start taking action towards it, and then the manifestations and the magic happens, and you're growing 10 times faster. So you have to remember, like, every part of your soul has to be into it. You have to be on fire. You have to work towards it. You have to focus on it, and you have to take actual action towards it. But what strategic action that makes sense for your soul's expression, okay? So that's the first thing, is you need your manifesting blueprint. It's the key to success, and it's the fastest way you're going to create 10 times growth. Second is you probably have soul level blocks that are restricting you from really expanding your abilities further. And this is, again, deeply related to utilizing your psychic abilities too. So when you have these soul level blocks that are much more in your karmic end of your parents and your, familial DNA, like if that's in the background, it's going to continuously like go and stop. And once they're all cleared out, you'll be able to like fly. And if you've already cleared out a lot of your blocks, then you should be flying, But if you're not making 100K months or more, or 30K months very easily, then there's something much more deeper that needs to get resolved and needs to get cleared out. And that's the number one. The number two, sabotage that happens is these deeper soul level blocks that doesn't allow you to step forward into receiving, right? Then the third thing is, you need to be clear on taking action towards these higher goals that you have for yourself. And usually we only think maybe twice as, expanded, because that's just our human mind. Our human mind, even though we believe we're infinite beings, we have a tendency to keep our mind very small. And so this is what's so interesting is when I talk to people who don't make money enough, or they have serious issues like relationships and there's chaos happening everywhere, the number one reason that's all like happening is because they are also not really going after a much higher version of what they want to create. So in order to consistently create 10 times growth, you actually need to at least every day do twice as much. I'm not just only talking about hard work, but strategic, smart, aligned action towards the higher goal. And if you're not clear about that higher goal, it's very hard to take strategic action towards receiving it. So like, for example, when I decided to do my LeimomiTV here, there were certain parts that I know that I needed to do to set up, and, before I actually started this and started doing interviews with other people here on my show, choosing the right platform and, downloading it onto my YouTube channel and all of these techie stuff, right? But the most important thing that I decided with myself, what is the higher vision goal as to why I have this TV show? And when I was aligned to the why I do what I do for this TV show, it was like everything else just, I just decided it, and then within 2 weeks, my show was on, right? So that was an instant manifestation because it was my creation, and it's something that my soul really desired, and it all happened very quickly because I decided that that's my 10 times growth. Then when you align to that 10 times growth, you have to remember that everything else needs to line up with it. So, and this is again where the strategy comes in, right? And the messaging too. You got to be clear about what you want to share to your audience and what you want to speak, right? And so I was very clear about that, at least that. But I had to really fine tune as to how is that bigger vision related to my program and services that I'm already doing now, or what I want to do in the future, right? So everything that I'm doing now, I'm constantly taking action towards making this ultimate goal, which of course in the end is making my TV show is very, very known, and eventually everybody wants to watch it. So, but building that momentum does take time, does take linear time, but you have to remember that if you're not constantly focused on that thing towards the higher version of what you want to create, it will never come into fruition. It will just kind of be a lost dream in your mind. So this is why it's important to align to your soul's gifts first. What is your blueprints, your unique energy of what your soul is? Because when you know what the energy of your soul is, the thing that you want will come in faster than you can even imagine. So I really operate every 2 days. I think about what is it that I want to manifest, what I want to create every 2 days. If I want more money, I can create 10K months if I want it. If I a 10K sale if I wanted. If I wanted more, love and connection with people, I end up with 100 people I'm talking to, right? But it's because I'm consciously creating it. So this is where you need to ask yourself, are you consciously creating your manifestations? Are you actually moving towards a higher version of what you want to create, right? Are you thinking big? Do you have all these kind of blocks that are in the background, but are there really blocks, or they are just your ego sabotage where you're just procrastinating, you're not focusing on the real things that you actually desire, you're could be focusing too much on your relationships or things like that that can stop you from going towards your vision or your goals and your money goals, right? So that's why it's key that you have to be in the forefront of this manifestation. But if you don't know your blueprints, you don't know your manifesting blueprints, and you don't know what's blocking you at soul level, right? And it keeps sabotaging you, then you're just constantly working really hard, but you're not growing further. You're just kind of stuck like at the mid-level at most. But the higher version of what you want to create, that needs to be super clear. So, for example, I'm really clear that I wanted my LeimomiTV show, really finally established and interviewing people. Now I'm sold out for the whole year on all of these interviews that I'm going to be, giving to you guys for my audience. That was just done in a couple of days. I had so many people that wanted to be interviewed on my show. So I was very clear about that. I wanted that to happen. I also am very clear that I want my book to be done, right? It to be launched out within this year. And most people, they always tell me that's going to take a really long time. But I really truly believe that because I'm moving so fast in a particular trajectory and I'm living in the moment, and I'm sure that that's going to happen by the end of the year. So because it's my desire, it's coming from a conscious creation. It's something that my soul absolutely feels is necessary, and I'm on fire about it, so I'm taking action towards it, right? Same thing with creating my membership site, to my website, getting all of these things all set up, writing the right copy, creating passive income. I am very aware of this whole year, what is the whole purpose of why I'm doing what I'm doing, and the higher version of what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. I don't know exactly when is it going to happen, but I do have a very big, clear vision of what my business and my life would look like. So then, because I am aware of that, I can grow 10 times growth every year. So instead of what it would take somebody 20 years to do, I would do it in 8 years, because I'm strategically following the flow of my soul and the manifestations that I want to create. So that's why you need to ask yourself these kind of questions, am I really, really sure about what I really want to create? Because if you're sure of that, at least an intention, then you have to strategically create the time, the energy, the value, right? The effort to make that to come into fruition. And so this is why your three main gifts comes into play. Because if you're doing it in the right order from, your first, your second, your third gift, you will be not only serving your audience, but you're going to really, really expand even further than what you can even imagine, right? So usually why we're not growing 10 times is because we're not really clear about our three main gifts. We're actually aligning to our second and our third instead of the first, which is the first is what brings in the most abundance, and it's effortless. When you're aligned to your third gift, it takes 10 times more effort. When you're aligned to your second gift, it takes 5 times more effort. So what kind of route do you want to create, right? This is why I created my method and all my different programs to teach people how do you align to your main gifts so that you can continuously receive this level of abundance by just being in your heart, being in this creation. Because when we're really on fire, we're actually experiencing alignment that is unexplainable, right? That alignment that's unexplainable is true conscious creation. because it came from your heart. So this is how manifestation actually is supposed to feel like. It's this feeling of your heart and your mind and your spiritual and your emotional self is starting to move forward and in this flow. And when you're in this flow, you can create anything. Anything comes into fruition at a much faster rate, right? So this is why I'm launching again my 14-day Soul Line Manifestation Method program to really help people to learn how to align to their soul in this way. So in the program, I look up what your blueprints are, and I also in the program we take aligned action towards our blueprints so that we can actually manifest every 2 to 4 days, and amazing things does happen because you're aligned to your soul. And again, this program is all meant to teach you how to be in this creation, in being in this conscious creation. And this creation is what creates more momentum for your audience and for your people and getting you to your bigger version of your goal. So in the program, you get these 10-minute videos and some meditation, listen to some music, so that you can figure out what is it that you need to align to, and then you go and take action towards it, every single day for 14 days. It's an amazing program. I've had people manifest amazing things being on media opportunities, and like in Elephant Journal, on Glamour Magazine, on Life Grid Magazine, guest blog posts, podcasts, you name it. Many people really, really had amazing manifestations like that. They've manifested 10K to 20K, all just because they're just taking aligned action. Smart aligned action to what they are at soul level. So it's all designed to help teach you to do this by yourself, so you actually have the real physical experience that you can consciously create this yourself. So that's why the blueprints is so important, and also your learning how to take that aligned action that your soul wants to create. The best manifestation program, I haven't seen any program that really is individualized this way. This is why I created this program, because I felt like people are missing the point. Like, the point is that it needs to come from your heart. You cannot be, listening to somebody else's manifestation and how they do it. You need your manifesting blueprints. So in this program, I'm giving you your manifesting blueprints to help you to know how to duplicate and do this yourself. Because truly, like, if you are in that alignment, then soul level blocks that were blocking you will be eliminated very quickly also. So there's also that VIP option where I can clear all of that blocks for you energetically too in your Akashic records, and all of this stuff I'm teaching in the Akashic records this way. So clearing those soul level blocks and then knowing your higher vision goals is kind of what you're going to learn in the program itself too. So if you're interested, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to me, and also look about any of my other services that I'm talking about, the blueprints and the shell clearing, and knowing your 3-hour blueprints is so important too, and what your 3 main gifts are. You'll get all of that in my program. So you can go to my website at www.LeimomiKeliikuli.com, which is my name, and on there you can see all of my program services on my Work With Me page. And then also on the front page, I have my Divine Business Gifts quiz. So if you haven't taken the quiz yet, be sure to do that, because it's going to kind of give you an idea of what your main gifts might be, which one of your main gifts is. And then and also I have my Facebook group, which is Soul Alignment Leaders for Conscious Living, and this is where you can be around more conscious people who really believes in living in the flow and alignment and manifestations. Yeah, so if you have any other questions about that, feel free to reach out to me and ask me. I'm an open book. I love helping people. So and yeah, so this program is going to start very soon, and so I've been doing it like every other month. So just reach out to me and just let me know if you're interested in this 14-day Soul Line Manifestation Method program, or the 3-hour blueprints. Are very, very important and very powerful for your alignment and for things like that in your business, in your life. All right, well, you have a beautiful day. Aloha.